What is going on, you guys? My name is Josh, also known as Harry Tornado. If you were watching tonight live, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And if you're watching the replay of this later on, welcome again. I'm so glad you're here at a later date. I want to make sure my volume is not too high up right now. I don't want any feedback for you guys. But tonight I am super excited. This is another episode of Reseller Review, and I have with me, let's get her on here. Let's get back this way. There we go. I have my friend Brittany with me tonight from the Essential Endeavors YouTube channel. Like I said, I'm super excited about this interview. It's going to be, I don't know, I guess about an hour long. We got some questions we're going to throw her way, and I don't want to get too much into it. So I'll let Brittany take it away and give a short little introduction for you guys, and just tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. I appreciate you having me on. Just a little shout out. We did do a podcast on my channel a few weeks ago, so you guys should go and check that out. But my name is Brittany. My name is also Essential Endeavors. I am a part-time reseller on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari, and I primarily resell clothing and shoes for everyone, men, women, and for kids. And then I am also a content creator here on YouTube. I started making videos at the beginning of May, and about a month ago, I finally got monetized on YouTube. So now it is like an official, like part-time job. And I am loving it. I've met so many good friends. Josh is now a really good friend of mine, and I'm just having fun. Happy to have all of you guys here. There's so many people. Thank you.
Yeah, it's we usually pull a good crowd for live videos, and I think a lot of people are excited. My friend Kimmy gave I think it was a $2.99 super chat before the show even started, like an hour and a half before it started. She says she said you are one of a kind, and she was excited for you. And then we got another super chat from, I think, Brian. Yeah, Brian Ronning. Super excited for this. Some of my favorite resellers collaborating. Brian, thank you for that super chat. And yeah, I've seen a lot of resellers come onto the YouTube scene over the last couple of years that I've been a YouTube reseller myself, and it's very easy to get lost in the crowd here. Everybody's kind of doing the same stuff. What's sold videos, bin haul videos, Goodwill haul videos, and it's very hard to stand out. And I noticed you first because you were commenting on my YouTube videos, and it wasn't just like a great video, Harry. It was actually like a very well thought out comment that was sometimes a paragraph long that shows that you were actually watching the video, and I appreciated that. So I clicked on your channel and went to there and saw your videos, and immediately noticed that you just have like all your editing and your personality on camera was definitely above average in terms of other YouTube resellers that I know personally.
Right.
So you asked me to come on your channel. I did that. I thought our conversation went great. So I was like, I'm going to have you on my channel because I love interviewing people of all different sizes on YouTube. I've had Rally Roots on here. They're up to like 160,000 subscribers now. And then I've had smaller YouTubers as well. And while you are a relatively small creator right now, I don't think that is going to be the case for much longer. As I said in the thumbnail, I personally think you have a very good chance of being able to hit 100,000 subscribers within the next year. So like by this time next year, if you're at 100, I would not be surprised at all. Again, just based on, it seems crazy now, because I remember when I was like in your shoes, somebody would have told me that I would be at 70, right now. I thought they were crazy. But just from what I've seen in my experience on YouTube and the competition that we have here, I definitely think that I don't see anything that would stop you from getting that.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate that. I mean, I don't want to like poo-poo on myself. I feel like I can do that. But like to be completely honest, I was like, if I get 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2021, I'll be happy. Like that was my goal. But you tacked on an extra 0. And I'm like, oh gosh, I have to live up to Josh's expectations now. I told my husband, and he was like, well, you better do it now. So
it can be really, it can be really surprising, like how fast you can grow on YouTube if you put in the time and effort. And from what I've seen so far, you're doing 3 videos a week, you're researching your topics, your editing is on point. Like I said, your personality on camera is really good. So I don't see anything stopping you from hitting that. I think once people find you, they're going to like you. So, I was like, I'll bring her on the channel and expose her to 147 people right here in the chat. How many subscribers do you have right now?
Let's see. I have a little over 1,600 right now. which is crazy. Like as soon as like I hit 1K, like I feel like YouTube gives you an extra little boost and wants to send out your videos a little bit more. So yeah, I'm at 1,600 right now, which I'm happy with.
Yeah, that's awesome for starting basically at like the start of quarantine. Is that right? Somewhere around there?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So quarantine happened and then I, had more time on my hands and I've always wanted to do YouTube,
Mhm.
probably for over a decade now, but I just never knew how it would fit into my life and our lifestyle. And we had all this extra time on our hands. It was a blessing in disguise and, decided to just go with it. And I actually created like 3 videos before I actually posted my first one.
Mhm.
But the audio was horrible. So I pretended like those didn't exist. And then I started May 7th. Yeah, May 7th was my first YouTube video. And then I got monetized I became eligible on October 19th. And then I got ads on my video on October 20th.
That's awesome. Somebody in the chat just asked what your channel was. I have her channel linked in the description of this video, but she also goes by Essential Endeavors on YouTube. So you could search that and she'll pop up, but it's probably easier just to click that link in the description. So getting into the interview portion here, the reseller review is kind of like I kind of think of it like a video podcast. We're just going to talk. I have questions I'm going to ask, but wherever the conversation goes it's a free for all.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
we did the introduction. I said what I liked about your channel, your editing. I don't think people realize, I guess YouTubers realize, like everybody that watches your video that makes videos for themselves is going to realize the time that you're putting into your videos to like
Yeah.
the swooshing noises and the little oops, when you put up the little logos and the screenshots and stuff. All of that takes so much time to like make sure it's perfect. And I definitely appreciate it because I know how much time you're spending. And especially now when, you just got monetized, you're not really for the last 6 months, you've been putting in all this work basically for free, which is basically, all of us have to go through that period. But I appreciate it. And I think a lot of people in the chat appreciate it as well.
Thank you. That was something that I just did a video on the fact that I was able to get monetized in less than 6 months. And because I've been a YouTube consumer for almost a decade, I kind of knew that there would be a time investment up front. So that's just the way I envisioned it. Whenever anybody's starting a business, so like I think most of us here are resellers, we kind of have to, even if it's just $100, you still have to fork that out and have that as your initial investment into your business. Well, with YouTube, it's time. So it's either time or money. And with YouTube, it's time. So I dedicated 20 hours a week on average every single week up until I got monetized. And I still do about 20 hours a week because I've learned this about myself. I am very particular when it comes to editing. I have undiagnosed minor OCD, but I'm very proud. Like I just want it to be something that I'm proud of. Like when I watch it back and I can like just, even if it's something small, like the swooshing, like I think it's so cool, especially when I first did it. I like brought my husband in here. I'm like, here, come watch this. And he's
Did you
like,
hit a swoosh?
good job, babe. So
yeah, it's, I love, one of the questions I'm going to ask you later on is what would be your dream job if you weren't, doing reselling on YouTube? And I'll go ahead and answer my answer now for that would be video editing, because I love just taking raw clips and a song and sounds and putting it together in a way that captivates your audience. Because as a YouTube creator, that's your job. Your job is to make videos that captivate an audience and keep them on your video. Because if YouTube sees that people are watching your video for a longer amount of time, they're gonna like that, because that means more people are seeing more ads. YouTube just cares about the money. So like my last video, it's actually underperforming in terms of views, but the watch time on that is like over 70%. And that's like my highest watch time ever for any video I've ever posted.
wow.
So, and that's one thing that people don't understand about YouTube. Very few people are going to watch your video all the way through to the end. I think if you're just starting out, talking about your OCD, and that was my problem too when I was making videos. I wanted everything to be perfect, but then I'd spend hours and hours editing a video and it would get 10 views. So kind of on that balance between making good quality content to build your business on YouTube, but not like slaving over something that's, you can always improve something later on in your next video. You're doing 3 videos a week, so there's plenty of room to grow in the future.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it with time, like as long, you build habits, right? It becomes almost second nature. What is the saying? It takes like is it 10,000 hours or 20,000 hours like to become like a pro? Maybe I'm
I
completely
think
off.
10,000 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So I'm like, I mean, it's a learning process and it's fun for me. So I'm like, I just kind of take it. I've learned. So the balance with me, I've needed to find the balance between like personal life and work because I kind of got a little gung ho with work recently, like YouTube and reselling. So I've kind of taken a step back and where I would be like, I need to get it out I used to do like Thursdays, Saturdays, and Mondays. I've just stopped saying that. And I'm just like 3 times a week, I'll get it out. Maybe you'll get it back to back to back, or you might get it every other day. I'm just not putting like that time restraint on myself. I just have like, okay, in 7 days, I'm going to put out 3 videos. And that allows me to restructure my personal life. Like I can actually wake up and get to the gym again where I was, wanting to crank out 30 listings, or I wanted to reply to like a bunch of comments and stuff. So now I'm like limiting myself to like 30 minutes a day replying to comments. I will reply to everyone. It's just, it might be a 2 or 3 day buffer. You know what I mean? So just trying to find that balance is hard with anything in life, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Yeah. YouTube, it's just hard. Yeah. It's hard to explain if you haven't tried it yet.
Yeah.
So I like where your channel's going, and I'm excited for you. And I think you've figured out the balance as far as what I'm seeing on YouTube. I think you figured it out. So what is your background before you got into reselling? Before you got into YouTube, what were you mainly focused on?
Woo. Okay. Well, I have spent my whole life being a student. I am in my early 40s. Oh my gosh, that's wrong. 20s. It's late, you guys. I'm in my early 20s. And I went to college early. I did my undergrad in mechanical engineering. I never had like one specific passion that I was like crazy about. Some people love football and some people love being a doctor. I don't know. I didn't really have like that one passion, but the one thing that I knew about myself is that I loved to learn and I loved to understand why things worked and how they worked. And so voila, engineering fell into the picture. I'm good at math. I'm good at science. So I did that. I did really well. I got, I don't know, like a 3.8, 3.85, something like that GPA. And then I worked in the field as an engineer for about 4 or 5 months. And I was working 12-hour days and I was driving an hour and a half one way there and an hour and a half back. And that's 3 hours of my life wasted. And then 12 hours in a job that, like, yes, the money's nice, but is this really bringing me happiness? Because I'm not a money driven person. Like I've really like, and I'm not that old, but like I've realized that money is never going to buy me happiness. It's that time, and you can never recoup that time. Like as soon as it's gone, it's gone. And I'm like, holy crap, like I'm not promised tomorrow. And at that point, I wasn't going to the gym with my husband anymore. We weren't able to wake up and have breakfast together. Like the little things that mean the world, like it's the little things that matter, So we talked about it and decided that I would pursue my master's in engineering because it would allow me a flexible job to teach online, like teach undergrad classes. So that is what I did. And I wrapped that up in May of this year. But last July, when I was in my master's program, I found reselling and decided to do that just to bring in some extra money. We didn't necessarily need it, but it was just kind of like icing on the cake for us and our family and our financial situation. And then I really enjoyed it. Like I was going to a thrift store and I would have epiphanies of like, holy crap, like there's people that like, this is their career. Like this is their job. Like I could do this. It's fun. And I'm giving back to the world too. Like, cause with engineering, I wanted to, work on design work with renewable energy sources, like, providing energy from the sun and from wind. Well, now I'm just doing renewable energy in a different way, So I found reselling and I really enjoyed it. And I love like, going on a hunt. And then I realized that, I was getting a lot of my information. I was learning. I was a student. I was learning about it through YouTube. And I'm like, I could do that. And decided to do it. And so now here I am.
That's awesome. So did you start reselling and your YouTube channel like at the same time?
No. So I started reselling July of 2019. And then I started my YouTube channel May. Well, I started it in April, but then I didn't upload my first video until May of this year.
Awesome.
So I was a little bit into the game.
Yeah. How do people in your life like like when you made the decision to leave the mechanical engineering field, you talked about, the money's good and everything, and you wanted to pursue something that was a little less traditional. Did you get any backlash from that at all?
Well, my husband is very supportive. Well, at first when I brought it up to him, I told him, I'm like, well, I actually went ahead and sourced. I spent like $60 at Goodwill when he was at work, and he got back, and I'm like, I did this thing. He's like, oh, go, here we go. And I told him about it. He's like, okay, we'll see what you can do in a month. And I proved him wrong. He tells all of his friends this, or anybody that he meets and they ask what I do. He tells them that whole spiel too, but he's like, she proved me wrong. Like, she was making way more money than I ever thought was possible. And then I opened his eyes to like YouTube and the potential, and like, there seems to be no cap with YouTube, and his mind's blown. So he's obviously very supportive of it. His family knows about everything. I mean, they're my family, but his side of the family, very supportive. They know about everything. But my family, they know generally that I'm like tinkering with it, but I haven't told them my channel name. And they know that I resell because I've resold their clothes before, because they were going to donate it to Goodwill. But I still think they're like, okay, well, when's your teaching job going to start? And I'm like, well,
yeah, there's this, most people in my life are fully supportive. There's this one guy at church. He's just like, he's a little older. I think he's in his 80s, whatever. And he just doesn't understand what I do. He's like, how's your job going? You still selling ads? I'm like, I'm not selling ads, but it's going well. Thank you for asking.
At least he was thinking about you. That's what matters.
Yeah, that's all that matters. I definitely got some. My wife was really supportive, basically from the start. I definitely got some weird looks from family and friends at first, but now I think now everybody realizes that it's going pretty well.
So this is something that, fun fact about me, my husband and I always say we, because you're married.
Yeah.
Talking we. But we're cable cutters. Like, we don't have TV. We've never had TV, actually, ever since we've been married. We got rid of Netflix like a year and a half ago. Like, occasionally we'll watch a Amazon documentary, and we don't have social media. Anybody that's new, I'm only on YouTube, so you can't follow me anywhere. If you ever want to contact me, you can email me the old fashioned way, because I'm a loser. No, I'm just kidding. But where was I going with that? That's what I was doing. When I was at the gym, I saw the news. I try to avoid the news. But they were talking about how this generation is like, how it's like blue collar, white collar. Now this is like the new collar that we're in, and that like what, reselling and YouTube and social media, that influencers, that's like the new collar is what they're coining it, is these types of jobs. So
it's really just a whole industry that kind of just popped up in the last 10, 15 years or so. Like, I graduated high school in 2009. And back then, I mean, even like PewDiePie was like, I guess starting, but there wasn't, I think Shane Dawson was probably like the biggest YouTuber I knew at that time. And there wasn't that many, but now I think people thought to make any money on YouTube, you had to be like a crazy viral star, like a Mr. Beast or Shane Dawson or PewDiePie or something. But I mean, there are people you can make serious money for yourself with a channel of less than 100,000 subscribers. It just depends on what you're making your content about and how you're monetizing that, and brand deals. And there's a lot of ways to monetize yourself and your content on YouTube.
Well, you're proof of that. And I appreciate your transparency, because I personally have always been drawn to people that are transparent like that as well. And then I try to embrace that in my channel, because the way that my philosophy is, if I can appreciate it, I know somebody else will as well. So that's where I am. But I feel like, well, I mean, for our situation, like, I already feel successful with where we're at. Like, all the extra money that we're making is like just amazing. But success is what you make of it, right? So like, you could get to a certain point and then just keep chasing a dream and chasing a dream, and like never be happy and content with where you're at. So some people might say, yeah, but you only have 70,000 subscribers and you only make $10,000 a month. What? I make double that. Like, you know what I mean?
Look at comments like that on YouTube. Like, in my eBay video where I said I made $42,000 a year on eBay, this guy commented and it's like, I make that in a month. I'm like,
Good for
That's
you,
awesome,
bro.
man. Like, I love that you can do that and still have time to hate on me and my YouTube video.
Yeah, I think that was projection. I don't think he's a happy person. There,
Yeah.
we'll put it that way.
I don't know. Like, you have to strive to make an income that works for you and your family. Like, if you're never going to make enough money to impress everybody in the world, like make enough money, it's just not going to happen. So you just make what's comfortable for you and your family. If you can make $30,000 a year reselling, and that's enough to pay your bills and save and live a comfortable lifestyle, you don't have to be ashamed of that at all. I mean, that's, depending on where you live, that's a really, really good income, you know?
Yeah, very true. That's something that I feel like our society and culture kind of glamorizes, is like, keep making more money, but like then you need to keep up with the Joneses. That's
Yeah.
why I'm kind of off of social media, is because that type of lifestyle is like there, and I'm just not keen on that. Like we've really embraced like minimalism and essentialism, and tried to live below our means. And I think that's how we've been able to get ahead in life, is like realizing like, what do we really need and what do we want? And does what we want really is it really going to make us happy?
Yeah.
And most of the time it's not. The only thing that's really going to make us happy that we don't really need is like pizza. So we'll do that like once a week, but that's about it. But I feel like it's good to remember to not, fall into lifestyle inflation. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
I see that so many people our age, like I'll be 30 next week, and I just see it.
Happy
People,
birthday.
thank you, thank you. I just see it. People, they go to college, and that they might have a job, a part-time job or something, but most of their money is just spent on their lifestyle.
Yeah.
And then they graduate, and maybe they get a job making like $40,000 a year, and then they adjust. They buy a house and get a puppy and get married and all this stuff, and everything. As they make money, they just keep spending more and more. So they get to a point where, you could have guys going to law school, and then they get married right before they graduate, and then they think that they're going to make all this money, but what they don't tell you is that a new lawyer doesn't really make that much money. You might make like 80 grand a year, and then you have $120,000 in student loan debt. Like, you can't just, I see it, the lifestyle inflation. People just, I'm like, just take 2 years, just graduate college, get a decent job, and take 2 years to just pay off your debt, save money. 2 years, that's it. In the grand scheme of life, that is a very, very small amount of time.
Right.
And people just don't want to sacrifice that.
Yeah. So I feel like getting off of social media really helped. But like, we found ourselves like, with my husband being in military, we would, get bonuses every year and stuff. But it's like, well, we already adjusted our lifestyle to living at this point. That's an extra $500 a month. That we don't have the mindset of what can we spend with that. It's like, oh, cool, we get to save that extra a month, and now we get to keep paying off our house to own it more. So I think having, no matter what job you're in and whatever niche it is, like I feel like that's a good philosophy to start taking on, to like get ahead. And like, success is just defined in different ways. So anyways, I'm rambling.
No, I love talking about this stuff. I haven't watched him lately, but I used to watch Gary Vee a lot when he did the daily vlogs. And for a guy like that, who's, a millionaire, and he still had the mindset of being excited about garage selling and flipping item, buying stuff for $1 and selling it for $5. He loved that thrill of the hunt. And he constantly pushed the thought of, nobody cares how much money you make. Nobody cares what kind of car you drive. Nobody cares what shoes you have on. The only people that care about that is you. And like, if you can get past that mindset of like having to spend all of your extra money on impressing other people that really don't care about you in the first place, and you just be happy. He's like, most people in this life would rather make, like, you'd be happier if you were making $35,000 a year, but you had extra free time and you could spend with your family and you had extra income, rather than, busting at working 80 hours a week, making 100K, but you never had any time to spend the money, Yeah.
And that's why ultimately, taking this all back full circle, is why I found reselling. It's like, yeah, sure, I could work 12 hours a day and have a 3-hour commute to my engineering job that pays like whatever, 50, 60 grand a year starting off. Sure, that's nice, but I'm never going to see my husband. I'm not going to be able to take care of myself, like with my fitness and my health. What's the point? Like, I can't even enjoy like my little hobby, and I can't spend time with the person that I love the most. Like, it's not worth it. It just isn't. So that's why I found reselling, and I have my own schedule, and I'm really working on YouTube being a big part of my business because that's like the ultimate flexible job. We can do it from anywhere. So
I'm a naturally lazy person, so I love the passivity. Is that a word? The passivity of YouTube income. Like
yeah,
YouTube is a ton of work at the start, but if you put in that work and you research your videos and spend time editing videos when nobody's watching, and then you engage with your audience, I don't know why more people like. I know a lot of guys with subscribers close to me, 70, 80, 100,000 subscribers, and they don't respond to comments and they don't engage with their audience. I'm like, if you would have just done that, if you would just spend 30 minutes a day responding to comments, you would be at 200,000 subscribers by now, probably. Like,
yeah,
people really appreciate that.
yeah.
But once you put in that work and you get it kind of flowing, you can get to a point like literally, I think I've made like 270 videos so far.
Yeah.
If you can just have like 5 videos that make $20 a day,
Mm-hmm.
that's passive income. Like I have videos now that my most profitable video this month was actually released like 3 months ago.
Yeah, there you go.
If you can just get something like that and say where you're making, 200, $300 a day from videos you've already made,
Mm-hmm.
it's
Yeah, the time investment is so minuscule, especially if you see it as like a long-term thing instead of a short. It's not a get rich quick scheme. Like it just isn't. Like it still is a lot of work. So it's not passive probably for the first year. Like even though like I'm monetized now, like if you were to consider like the time that I invested, I think I don't know, maybe 400 hours or something like that I invested in not making anything. Well, I mean, I guess I did. I made like maybe $100 from Amazon affiliates and then $400 from my Etsy spreadsheet. And then I made, I don't know, like 5 or 10 sales directly from YouTube, like through Poshmark or eBay or whatever. So I made some money, but if you were to like take that time, like 400 hours working at minimum wage, like once I monetized and I hit that amount, then it would then become passive for those other ones. But that's like the short-term thinking.
Yeah.
I'm wanting this to be a career. So it's all passive at that point because I'm just going to keep doing my normal job and I'm going to be paid way more than what you would consider for like an hourly wage. Like it doesn't even matter at that point. Like then it becomes passive, I guess. So I think knowing that it'll take a year to really like even out. And then after that year, it's just going to skyrocket, I think, as long as you take it seriously. Right.
For sure. Yeah. I've spent so many hours in my life working like an hourly job. And people are always obsessed with hourly. Like in my last income videos, somebody asked me what my hourly rate is. I'm like, I don't know. Like it's a lot, if you want to break it down, because I really don't work that much. I mean, between eBay and YouTube, I probably do like 40, 50 hours a week, maybe depending on the week. Yeah. This week's Thanksgiving. I'm probably going to work like 15 hours this week, Yeah.
I think we got a few super chats in here if you want to.
Yeah. I'll get those in a second. But it's important to remember, like if you're working like an hourly job for somebody else, once you do the work and get paid, it's over. Like I've worked thousands of hours at Chick-fil-A. I worked for Chick-fil-A for 4 years. That was a good job, but I'm not getting royalties or commissions from the work I did 5 years ago, Whereas YouTube, you can make a video and literally 5-10 years later, you can still be making money from that YouTube video. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's funny. If 5 years from now, you have a video that's made you $10,000, like really for that time that you spent, maybe $20 would have been worth your time. And then, I mean, it's passive at that point. So it's like, you have to look past the box, So
exactly. We got a $3 super sticker from Nakoma Finds. I recognize that name. I think you sent me something in my PO box today. I got 3 things in my PO box, and I remember seeing that name on one of them. I think it was a Dunder Mifflin coffee mug. I could be wrong. It's in my truck. But,
I have a graphic T-shirt that I just put up from that from the office, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
You say that like you're not an avid watcher of the show.
I just told you I'm a cable cutter. I don't watch.
You don't have Netflix?
No, we got rid of it like a year and a half ago.
Oh man. So you just do YouTube for entertainment then?
Yeah. I watch YouTube videos. And then occasionally we're documentary people. Like we watch all the Planet Earths. We watch anything regarding natural beauty and animals. We're old people. So there you go.
Souls. Then I got a $24.99 super chat from Brian Ackenbauer.
Thanks.
Unkenbauer, Brian, thank you. It says, how much time do you guys devote to making YouTube videos? What's the best length of video to succeed on YouTube? Brittany, I'll let you answer this first. What do you think?
How much time do you guys devote to making YouTube videos? So right now I'm doing 3 videos a week. It takes me about an hour to film, and on average anywhere from like 4 to 5 hours to edit. But as we addressed earlier, I am very nitpicky, so that might be lower for other people. And the best length, I don't know, because there used to be like a time in YouTube where the short videos did really well, and then when the long videos did really well. And then I feel like the sweet spot is like anywhere from like 12 to 18 minutes, like right now, but I could be wrong. But I feel like if you're just starting off, you want to just edit out all like the stuff that doesn't matter, like just get to the point, but try to like expand upon it. Oh my gosh, I'm going too far into this. I don't know, like 10 to 15 minutes, but it has to be substantial. Like it has to give something back to the audience and make them want to keep watching. I don't know if that's helpful.
I really think it depends. Like I have my own personal opinion about this, and people have disagreed with me in the past, but it's worked for me. My friend Wyatt Sippy, he just started a YouTube channel. He released his second video yesterday. I told him, he was asking about like length and stuff like that. Well, let me answer for how much time do I spend on videos? So like, it really depends on the video. If it's like a daily vlog video, I'm literally just carrying my GoPro around as I thrift and pack orders. So that's like not time I'm specifically spending on YouTube. Like if I'm trying to film myself pull and pack orders in the morning, it may add an extra 30 minutes to my time if I wasn't filming. And then editing those videos is usually really easy because it's just putting the clips together and like cutting off the fat at the beginning and end of each clip.
Right.
So I can make a 45-minute daily vlog video and probably edit it in like 45 minutes to an hour because those videos aren't going to have any crazy transitions, or usually they don't have graphics or anything like that.
There's no research really to it.
There's no research. Whereas like my income video, I had to research my books and come up with all my numbers and do all the graphics. And I scripted that entire video out because I didn't want any ums or buts. So that video probably took an hour of research, about an hour of filming, and probably like 5 to 6 hours of editing.
They usually take the longest for me too, just because I'm like, I really want to like nail this. I appreciate you adding in all those graphics too. I gave you some constructive criticism a few.
I definitely appreciate that. See, the last income video, I filmed 2 videos that day. We can talk about batching. Like if you're trying to put a lot of YouTube videos out, you can record multiple videos in one day. You can just change clothes and nobody will know the difference.
Exactly.
But that day I filmed 2 videos and I was just like stressed for time, and I was trying to put it out, so I didn't have time to do graphics. But I learned from my mistake, and I think the second one was much better.
Yeah, for sure. I think because that's a good thing about YouTube too, is trying to cater to the different ways that people learn. So you can talk about numbers all day long, and some people might be more auditory learning, and they can pick it up. But I feel like for most people, they are good with like audio and visual. And so if you like pop it up, it sticks a little bit more. And I just know that I appreciate it. This is going back to my philosophy of YouTube. So if I like it, then I'm just going to try and put that in my videos too. And I'm sure other people will like it. So
yeah, absolutely. Then as far as the best link, so here's my opinion. The same thing I told Wyatt is, in the beginning, you're only going to have a certain number of subscribers. I think Wyatt's at like 80, 90 subscribers right now. And it's a lot of friends and family that are going to watch as many videos as he puts out. So I'm like, if you have one video that's going to be 15 minutes long and you put that video out and it gets 80 views, that's 80 views on a 15-minute video. But if you can break that into 3 5-minute videos and release them 3 days back to back, and you have your core audience of 90 people that are going to watch all those videos, that triples your views and triples your watch time. And a 5-minute video is much easier to edit than a 15-minute video. It's not, I don't know, I guess you could say it's like trying to scam the system, but personally, if I find a new content creator and I watch their first video and it's a 35-minute Goodwill Bins haul or something like that, I'm not going to watch that whole video. I'm going to watch like the first part to see their intro, check out their editing, check out the end, just to see how it ends. And that's going to be it. Their watch time is going to be very, very low. So just for me personally, if you're starting out on YouTube, I would keep your videos like 3 to 5 minutes long, honestly, and just do more of them, because again, you're trying to capitalize on that audience. I would say if you could do like 2 to 3 videos a week that are, let's
5
say 5 to 7 minutes long, and then like one live stream a week to help with your watch time, because you have to get 4,000 hours of watch time to get monetized.
Yep.
And you have those 100 subscribers. If you have 100 subscribers, 3 5-minute videos a week and a 1 hour long live stream a week, you're going to be getting 300 views a week plus an hour and 15 minutes of watch time a week, per person. So I think
it's smart. I didn't think about it like that. Yeah, that's smart. That's a good tactic. Hey, do that tactic, Brian.
I didn't come up with that. I think it was Sean Cannell over on Video Influencers or Think Media or something. And it talks about people's attention span. It depends on the video. Sometimes I'll do a 40-minute daily vlog and people watch the whole thing because it's captivating. And I've made the shorter videos in the past to build the audience and people know what to expect from me. And I try not to waste people's time. It's a 45-minute video. It's usually packed with a ton of content. Right. But in the beginning, you're just trying to get your face out there and give people something to watch. And if your first subscribers are friends and family that aren't even really into reselling, they just want to support you, it's easier for them to watch a 5-minute video versus a 15 or 20-minute video as well.
Right.
Again, just my opinion, I'm not saying it's right, but it's worked for me. It's worked for other people in the past that have taken that path. And I think it's the way to go.
I think that's fair because I feel like the attention span of people is running very thin with every generation. So, I agree with that. I think I was under the assumption or misconception of the longer videos would do better, because if even only half the people that watch it all the way through, or even a third of them, then I would get that full amount. And then it would just help to rack up watch hours. I don't know. That would be an
try it out. Like like my friend Becky Park, she posts like hour-long videos that are just like thrift hauls, but they get 20,000 views. People love it. It may be your personality. Like if people like your personality, they're willing to watch a longer video. You just gotta try it out.
Yeah, trial and error. At the end of the day, just post a video.
Yeah, just get it out there.
Just be consistent.
Pat Dees sent us a $5 super chat. Mr. Tornado showing others how to be successful in YouTube and reselling with a sense of humor. You still storing some stuff in the freezer. Yeah, man, absolutely. I still use my old inventory storage system. It works like a charm. Let me make sure there's no other super chats or anything I missed while we were talking. Looks like we're good to go. All right, let's get into more of these questions. We've 37 minutes. I've only asked 2 questions.
Well, I'm long-winded. I'm sorry.
No, it's you're a very good conversationalist, and it's totally fun. And I'm okay with going over an hour if you are. So just let me know.
Yeah, no worries.
So what experience do you have with video editing? I think we talked about that when I was on your channel, but I don't remember exactly.
So whenever I had the option to do a video for a project in middle school, high school, college, I always opted to do it because I've always been fascinated with it, because because I was watching YouTube and I was, is infatuated the right word? I don't know. I just enjoyed it, a lot. And I was like, wow, well, maybe back in middle school, I was like, I want to do YouTube one day. So I was just being an amateur and like doing my, it was like Windows Movie Maker or something like that. And so I just edited on that. I'm pretty sure I watched YouTube videos to how to edit. But yeah, just here and there for projects, but no serious. I just have learned and taught myself over time. Like if I had a question, I'd just Google it like nowadays. So
what, I'd noticed that, like, I feel like I'm pretty good at video editing. Like I'm pretty confident, and I'll watch your videos. I'm like, how does she do that? Like you had some graphic with like all the words are like writing as you type. I'm like, where did she learn how to do that? Well, you're using Adobe Premiere, right?
Yeah, so I use Adobe Premiere Pro because I am a pro. No, I'm not. Right. I am not a pro. I am just a regular old Joe Schmo. I use Adobe Premiere Pro because Rush was a little bit too simplified for me. Like I guess because I'm in the mathematical realm, like I need to be able to type in a number. Like if I want to time lapse something, I need to type in my number. I can't just use like a little toggle wheel. I don't know. I don't like it. So, and then just the possibilities, like I just wanted to pick something, stick with it and grow with it, as I grow with YouTube and being able to do all the fun little things, and I can just play around with it. So, yeah, Adobe Premiere Pro. And I what I told myself with every video, learn something new. And that's what I did. So
You have plenty to learn with Adobe Premiere Pro. I think the only video editor that's more complicated than that is probably DaVinci Resolve. But
I never heard of it.
it's free, which is good. But I downloaded it and tried. And I'm like, this is just impossible. I don't understand it. I've been using Power Director 18 for a couple months now, and I love it. It's pretty much does everything I want to do except a green screen. It's weird because the app has a green screen effect that you can use, but the PC version doesn't yet. So I don't do that very often.
Weird. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever be a green screen connoisseur.
I had one where I was like, it was some video where I was like adding up, and I was like trying to think the math in my head, and I wanted to do a green screen effect with like all the math numbers like on the screen. But that's like green screen with like a little bit of transparency added in, but they didn't have that feature. So that's the only thing I've wanted to do in editing that I haven't been able to do with that program. But yeah, I mean, some people in the chat are saying that they use Movie Maker or iMovie. All those are great. I mean, you don't need anything fancy. Whatever works for you works for you. The only thing I would say is that if you're using a like free version of a video editor that has a watermark that puts it over your video, you should probably just pay for that editor, because when I see a video and it has the watermark of whatever editor you're using, that's extremely amateur, and I'm not going to be into that video. And most of those editors are like $4 or $5 to pay for it. So just pay for it. It'll make your videos look a lot more professional.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see. So what is your goal with YouTube? We can talk about maybe like a 1-year goal. My prediction is that you're going to hit 100,000 within a year, but what's your goal within 1 year and maybe 5 years of YouTube?
Oh, shoot. Well, I feel like the 5-year one is easier than the 1 year because it's like a distant goal. Well, I just want to be doing YouTube still in 5 years. And I think I will, just because I'm like thoroughly enjoying creating content and being creative. Like, it's just fun to, be out and about. And then I'm like, aha, I have an idea. And then I like write it in my phone, and I'm like, I have like a whole list of like 50 YouTube ideas that, I've never seen before. Like, I want to do them and stuff. So it's just fun being creative, because it was kind of repressed for a while. Like with engineering, it's very, 2 + 2 is 4. Like, it's very like matter of fact. Like, there is no room for,
creativity.
I mean, there is like in the design realm, but like when it comes to the laws of physics, like you can't debate that. So it's just fun being creative and being more artsy. But what's cool about reselling in YouTube is I can still bring in my love for math with, talking about numbers and being transparent about my business and how much I'm making. And it might not be as much as some other people, but let me show you like how I got to these numbers, and, you can do it too. I feel like that it's just very empowering knowing your numbers and knowing how to like read your data and your analytics. So
100%. I think that's the biggest difference between an amateur reseller and a professional reseller, is that amateur resellers are just like, oh yeah, I went to Goodwill and I bought this shirt for $1 and sold it for $15. And that was 3 months ago. And I've sold some more stuff since then. And I don't know, I just kind of put the money in my account and just spend it whenever I want. I'm like, you have to have an actual grasp of your actual profit. 1, so you can pay your taxes correctly. But 2, just so you can make sure you're profitable. A lot of times, if you just get into the habit of flipping things and not keeping up with your numbers, you can actually be losing money or not making as much money as you think you're making. Exactly. A lot of people just make, usually amateur resellers are reinvesting most of their profits, and they are just having fun, and they forget that they actually need to be profitable after fees and expenses.
They don't have to be profitable. Like, they could just do it just because that's what they enjoy to do. But if you wanted it to be a business and to, make income from it, then you would have to track your numbers, I think. And the reason I feel like you should be tracking your numbers regardless of whether you're doing a business, you should be doing it personally as well. Track your expenses, how much you're spending on pizza every week. I'm guilty of it. And it'll help you realize how to cut out some stuff that isn't essential endeavors. And you can save more and pay off debt and, get ahead financially in life. So
absolutely. Somebody asked a question I thought was interesting. A&D Resellers, pop this up on the screen. Is it taboo to just post an unedited video just starting out? I want to document how much editing skills improve with time and everything.
I don't think so. I don't think it's taboo. I think, well, you see, like what I did, I would edit that out because it just annoys the heck out of me. I can't deal with my ums. But it would be interesting, like if your channel were to take off, to see, you know, how much you change over time. But I think at least putting a video out is the best step to take. So if you want to unedit it and, you know, just go for it. It's not taboo.
Yeah, I think it depends on your personality and how clearly you can like talk without editing it. You know, for me, I feel like I'm a pretty good speaker on camera, not a good public speaker. I spoke at our church yesterday and I was like so nervous. I do not like public speaking, which is, I feel like people are surprised by that because they think I'm really outgoing. I only like speaking if I can edit my mistakes out, you know, and then change it later.
I've just learned to embrace my ums and just being a human, because the thing is like people they can put themselves in your shoes. They're like, oh, I would be nervous up there too. So, I mean, I feel like I'm a little bit, I mean, it might just be nature. It might just be who I am. But I did drama in high school, like theater, and it helped me get out. I wasn't really in a shell. It just helped me to just be me a little bit more. And I get nerves. Like before I got on the live, like, of course it's nervous because I don't even know how many people are here. But I guess it's a little different with the internet because I'm just like, I just feel like I'm talking to you, but then I see all these comments and I know people are here, but everybody's usually sweet. And I don't know, like if you make mistakes, just own it. We're all human. We all make mistakes and we all get sweaty palms. I talk like that. Like there was, I don't know, I had a live and I had sweaty palms and I just told people I had sweaty palms. So
when I get nervous, my back, like the lower part of my back gets like, I don't know if it's like muscles tensing up, but my whole life, anytime I get nervous, my back just hurts so bad. Like it's just like, stop being nervous. And I'll like if our church has like a live stream and I really want to go watch the live stream yesterday because my back started hurting and usually I have to like put my hand behind my back and like push on it a little bit to keep it from it just hurting. Like it's so bad. I used to do drama in high school and as well. And we did some musicals and stuff. And that helps me a little bit, but still like if I had a solo or something or somebody reading lines and I was, you know, thought I was going to forget a line, my back would start hurting. So it's weird.
That is weird. It's your fight or flight kicking in.
I guess.
Let's see. I had a question from Amber Resells. Thanks for coming, Amber. She said, which video from your channel are you most proud of? Which video from your channel would you recommend a new viewer start with? Good question. That I'm most proud of. That is a good question. I feel like my thrift with me, it wasn't the best, like the GoPro, like I'm trying to get on Josh's level with the GoPro. I just had it clipped to my shirt and I asked like the Goodwill employees, I'm like, is it okay if I film? It's for my YouTube channel. They're like, yeah, honey, it's fine. And just, you know, try not to film anybody. Cause I mean, I think it's still like your legal right to film. Like you can film whatever. I don't really know, but I just, you know,
you film in public. The only time I'm like worried about filming is at an estate sale. Like if it's an indoor estate sale, because that's somebody's house. So technically that would be illegal if you didn't ask for permission. But if you're in a store or outside a garage sale, it's 100% legal.
Oh, well, anyways, I just didn't want to like, I drove like an hour and I'm like, I don't want to have to turn around. I don't want to like make anybody mad at me. So I filmed a thrift with me and I really enjoyed it, but the bins are like forever away. So I want to do more. So I'm proud of that. But then I'm also proud of my how to take pictures video because that was like my 4th video. And I thought about that video for so long and just like, it was on my list to do before I even started YouTube. And then it's finally like taking off. It has like 7,000 views on it. It's taken off for me. And I am still very awkward and new in it. So I went back and did timestamps for people so they didn't have to hear my awkward talk because there were some comments that are like, when does she ever shut up? Something like that. But which video from your channel would you recommend a new viewer start with? Let's see. It depends on what their interests are. Like, are they a reseller? Then maybe a monthly sales overview, like, because I feel like that would help if they're not already tracking their numbers. I feel like that's so beneficial. They could start with that. If they're not a reseller, I'm trying to branch into YouTube content. So I just did a video on how I got monetized in less than 6 months. So that could be a good one as well. But that's just an opinion of myself.
I'm looking at your channel now because you said something about putting timestamps in your video descriptions. And out of every reseller, let me get rid of Amber's comment here. I'm going to share my screen over here.
Okay.
Let's see.
I don't do them for all of them though. I only do them for like the important ones.
This is your sale, $1,500 in sales 2 weeks. First of all, you're doing like the hashtags like above the title, which is a very professional YouTube thing to do. And it's something that I know I should be doing, but I never do. And I don't really know any other resellers that do that. So I saw you doing it, and now I'm like, I gotta get on Brittany's level. I gotta start doing
the truth comes out, y'all.
Yeah. And that's just good YouTube practices. You know, like if you want to treat your YouTube channel like a business, these things are things you should be doing. It just really helps make you look really professional. And it helps if you have a hashtag like Essential Endeavors, if you want to do that one and have all your videos under that hashtag. But the amount of detail that you put into your video descriptions is just crazy. Like me, I just copy and paste everything like to the same video.
Yeah.
I mean, you have like all of your affiliate links and like a paragraph long description. And, you know, sometimes you do the timestamps and
yeah. So I feel like I've maybe 2 or 3 videos. So like my most popular one, I have timestamps in the comments. I think I need to put it in the description for it to be chunked on there, you know, like in the thing. But my monetized one, that third one that one has all the little, it's like broken up, and it has titles.
And to be completely honest with you, I've been doing YouTube for a while now, and I don't even know how to do timestamps.
Put it in the description. Open up my description, and right there, and it'll automatically do it in your video.
You just type in the numbers and it does it?
Yep.
Perfect. I learned something. Look at that.
I've
learned something on YouTube.
Us small people are useful.
That's right. That's right. But just like I said, when you were commenting on my videos and I saw your channel, I clicked on your channel, and it's just instantly very professional. Like your channel banner is.
I just updated it this morning because I got in a creative spurt.
I just love it. Like that's one thing that took me a long time too, because I use it on Canva. I'm assuming you edit that on Canva.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a weird dimension because you have to edit like a big picture, and it's just like the middle, because you have to, like, your channel banner can be seen on a TV or a computer or a phone, and you have to edit one picture that's fits on all of them.
It's a pain in the butt.
There's just so many little details that people, like, you have your little links over here to Mercari and Poshmark, Etsy, eBay, like Essential Endeavors, the alliteration. I am a big fan of alliteration. I love that. The little recycling logo, the heart, business, reselling, thrifting, new videos 3 times a week. That's the whole point of a channel banner. Like, I've seen so many people that just have their name and nothing else, but people can look at your channel banner and they know your name. They have links to everything, all of your stores. They know what your channel is about, and they know how often to expect videos from you. And that you can't really fit much more information in a channel banner. And that's an A+. This is, if you guys are watching this, wanting to know how to make a channel banner, use it on Canva. Canva is a free editing software. You have the pro version though, right?
Yeah, I have a pro, and I have an affiliate link. If anybody wants to click it through my description, then I'll get a kickback.
Please do. That's a great way to make money before. Well, if you're not, you're monetized on YouTube already, but if you're not monetized on YouTube, Amazon affiliates is a great way to make money.
Yep. Canva has an affiliate. I use TubeBuddy for my SEO software, and they have affiliates. Amazon, and this is a suggestion too. If you do Amazon, I personally like, if somebody mentions something in their video, I just want to be able to go to their description and click on it. I don't want to have to be through a click funnel of going into your store and then categorizing it and then finding it. That's too much work for me, and I'm not going to buy it from you. Like, if I can just see the name, okay, this is my white cream blanket that I take pictures on for flat lays. I want the link right next to it, and then I will buy it. And I think that makes it easier for people. So that's just my take on it.
100%. Somebody asked earlier, I don't remember who it was, but here, Phil's Fun Vlogs How do you get your thumbnails so good? I'm sure he's talking to you because your thumbnails are on point. And
Magic.
I actually had a question because I saw this thumbnail. I
Thank you.
don't know, make it bigger. Well, here, let me control plus. Wait, no, that's the wrong one. Okay, so this one, you have the monetize going all the way across the top. And I really like that. But you have it behind your head. And I have no idea how you did that.
Secret. No, I'm just kidding. I'll do a video on it for sure. But you would just whoever's here, how many people do we have here? Can you see
292 people.
All right, y'all. You have to keep this a secret. You can't let it get out of the bag. Canva Pro. I think you do have to have Canva Pro for it. So that's why you can use my affiliate link, because I'm going to tell you the secret. You want to have your picture in there twice. One of them, you are going to remove the background and then like kind of crop out, just like I just cropped out to where it's just like my head right here. And then I just send the text to the back and then me to the front, and then it's right behind me. And then you just have to make it big enough to where you can still kind of see what the word is.
Mm-hmm. I saw it on that video. It looks really good on that one. And then another one, which that's what I thought you did. I was like, oh, maybe she's just cutting out her picture. But then on this one, it's like there's like 3 layers. Like you have your face and then the words, and then your hand is like reaching all the way back. And it feels like your hand is like behind the words. I'm like, that is just such
cool. I didn't even see it like that before. No, I'm just I don't always pose for pictures. I think maybe 20% of my thumbnails I pose for them. But that one I had a video going and I'm like, this is cool, this is funny. And I just decided to go with that one, and I didn't even think about it being like 3D like that. But yeah, it's just
funny that you mentioned poses. I don't think it's any secret that I pose for all my thumbnails, but I used to take pictures. So I would take like 20 or 30 pictures for thumbnails and then go through and find one. But then it was just too many files and it was just annoying clicking the button. So now I just like record a video and just spend like 30 seconds just making a bunch of faces. And then
that's what I do too.
Yeah, it just saves so much time.
Yeah. So and I'll just do a bunch of, I limit it to 30 seconds now, because you could just go on and on. I'm like, there has to be something good enough and I'm just going to make it good enough. But sometimes I have screenshots and I'm pulling a face, or my mouth is half open, and I just, whatever, I'm human.
Exactly. Guys, if you're watching this, as you can see, I'm subscribed. I have the notification turned on all.
Oh, thank you.
I'm not going to unsubscribe. No, cancel.
Again, this is where our friendship ends.
Unsubscribing on the live feed. But the link to Brittany's channel is in the description of this video. Let me see if I can post. Do I still have it on my clipboard? No, that's a StreamYard link. Don't want to add that one. Here, let me just copy and.
Oh, it's weird it does that, because I have like I have the custom URL.
I do too. And mine shows I have like Harry Tornado, like youtube.com.
It does the little.
Yeah, it still does. Sometimes I don't really know how it works exactly.
Weird.
I was hoping you could teach me.
Well, I mean, I can still type in like youtube.com/c/essential endeavors, and then it works. Mm-hmm. I don't know. That's weird. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe both of them work. I mean, I know they both work, but.
Yeah, more income. He just put the youtube.com/essential endeavors or /c/essential endeavors. So either one of those would work. But guys, definitely go check out Brittany's channel. There's a lot of resellers on YouTube. I think we all know that there's just a plethora of resellers on YouTube, and to be able to stand out relatively quickly, less, 6-7 months of creating content and be able to stand out as much as you have amongst the crowd is just very impressive. And there's no mystery why. It's because you put more time and energy and effort into your videos and channel overall than anybody else that I know.
Thank you. I also, I think what also sets me apart too is I take the time to go and, leave good comments on people's videos. Like I actually, it does take time. This is a part, when I say 20 hours a week, I did about 15 on the videos and about 5 hours with like YouTube recon, I don't know, comments, whatever you want to call it. And you know, go like for me, I had no social media. I had no way to market myself. The only way that I could is like go and find other small resellers and try to build friendships and connections. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But like now I have really good friends, Macy and Chelsea and Taylor, and like we have like a group chat, and like we're always talking about reselling. Like sometimes, you know, if we get a funny comment on Poshmark, we'll all screenshot and laugh together. But you know, I made friends, and then I tried making friends with people and they didn't respond. So it just didn't work out. But you know, it doesn't hurt to try. Like actually watching a video, leaving a genuine comment. I know that I appreciate it, and I'm sure most people appreciate it. And you know, just doing that and putting yourself out there really, and then also doing the engagement on your own channel as well really helps.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the most important thing. I mean, to grow in any niche on YouTube, you just have to become part of the community. And the only way you can do that when you're starting out is to comment on other people's videos, because you post a video, nobody sees it yet. You've got to do something to get traffic. And that commenting stuff that actually matters, not check out my channel, like your video, check out my video. Like you actually, yeah, sub for sub. You actually post comments that shows that you watched the entire video. And you did that multiple times back to back. I'm like, who is this girl? Why is she watching so much and being so nice to me? But,
what is she up to? No, I mean, I've gotten a lot out of your videos too. And it's like, I mean, I show my husband too. I'm like, well, look at like what he can do. I'm like, and my husband knows what I can do. He's like, well, if he can do it, you can do it too. And you know, just with you being so transparent about what, you know, the possibility is to make off of YouTube is really inspiring and stuff too. But I'm still trying to figure out all your GoPro secrets. I just gave you my secret for Canva Pro, so you're gonna have to give me all of your secrets.
I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Off air, nobody can know them.
Off air, yeah. Guys, sign up for my GoPro course, only $3.99. I'm just kidding. Anyway, we got to get some more of these questions. We're at an hour, and I've only asked you not even half the questions I have. So earlier I said that I was going to ask you this. If you weren't a reseller or YouTuber, what would your dream job be?
Oh, yeah. I never answered that. Whoops. See, you guys, I'm human. What would my dream job be? Well, the thing is that YouTube was my dream job. I thought I was just going to be having to work 10 to 12-hour days for the rest of my... I cried about it. I'm like, this is what life is. Like, I'm supposed to work. I mean, it's not that I'm supposed to work, yes. But am I supposed to work a job that I don't enjoy? And like, I have to drive far away and I have to deal with people that are like, not cool, you know, like, is this what it is? And I just have to stick it out for 40 years and then retire. I'm like, well, when do we have time to have a family? Like, we both like are working all the time. Like, when do we have time to travel? We love to travel. Like, it doesn't add up. Like, and it just money doesn't bring me happiness. So that might be an easy answer for people, like to just pick their job, their 9 to 5 or whatever, and just work that forever. It's easy. It pays the bills, whatever. But I don't want to just survive. I want to live. So, so I feel like YouTube is it sounds like I'm just saying this because now I'm on YouTube, but literally since like 8th grade, like I've wanted to do YouTube. Like it's been a dream. So.
Well, that's awesome. You're doing it. I mean, you're definitely on the way. I mean, like we said earlier, I think in the last couple of years, it has gone from being this like weird thing that only, really famous people could be successful at, to if you treat it like a business, literally within 6-7 months, you can be monetized. And within another 6 months, you could be making thousands of dollars a month. And then within a year, you could be at 100,000 subscribers. I think I don't know. I see a lot of people growing really fast on TikTok, but the amount of money you can make on YouTube versus the amount of money you can make on TikTok is just not comparable at all. Yeah. I'll see people like, oh, I just joined the TikTok Creator Fund. Be sure to smash all of these buttons. And your TikTok pays very, very little. Some girl did I saw one today where she was doing like a breakdown of how to pay for her Starbucks every day. She's like, if I get Starbucks every day at $3.50 each, it's like $650 a year, and I would need 22 million views. I'm like, do you have any idea what money you make on YouTube with 22 million views? I think I have 4.5 million views on my channel overall. Like,
wow, big baller.
Well, this other people have that on one video, but from the last 270 videos, about 4.5 million views. And I think overall on my channel, like total I've made like $70,000 or so.
Yeah.
So it's just, I mean, I don't know. It's easier to grow on TikTok. I mean, you could start an account and the next day be at 1 million subscribers if it goes viral enough. But
I think, I mean, if that happened for somebody, I think it'd be just kind of like what happened with Vine.
yeah,
It's like start there, but then transition into YouTube, because
yeah,
YouTube, that's like the little part-time painting job on the weekends. And then, YouTube is like the career.
yeah.
So I feel like that's what's going to happen with TikTok stars. I feel like there's already, I mean, I don't really know because I don't have the app, but I know of it through YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that's the smart way to go about it. And I think most people know that.
Online hustle dad. Interesting question. What is the biggest tip to get to 4,000 watch hours? I'm at 2,700 subs, but only have 400 watch hours. That is a very lopsided number. Congratulations on 2,700 subs, but I don't know how you only have 400 watch hours with that many.
Let me think. Well, for me, so I started doing reseller hangouts. So they're on average about an hour long. Like I found people in my community, in my niche. I'm assuming that, you guys are a family channel, maybe family vloggers. Maybe find other people that like you feel you feel connected with, or like-minded people, and have them on, like interview them, connect with people, try to find friends, and then record it. And then even if you only have 100 people that view it and only 10 people like fully watch, that's 10 watch hours. So I don't know. I mean, it takes time. I feel like sprinkling in a few long videos, like what you were saying earlier, Josh, like with a live stream once a week, having like a longer video, and then just like your normal ones could help. I mean, are you being consistent with your video uploads? Because that would be like my main thing.
Yeah. And I'm curious about how many videos, because if you've only uploaded, 5 videos, then that maybe, and they're really good videos, maybe you got a lot of subscribers. But maybe that'd be with the watch hours. But live streams definitely do help with the watch hours and just consistently uploading.
The consistency, because I mean, that's like, and I feel like that was easier for us to know as resellers, because like if you slack on eBay or Poshmark or Mercari or whatever, then you're not going to make sales. Like you have to list every day or relist or do some sort of activity every day to stay relevant, like on the algorithm. Same thing with YouTube. YouTube just wants to see, because when you start making money, they start making money, and that's what it's all about. So
for them.
Yeah.
So just consistently uploading videos, and flickering in a few live streams every once in a while, and that should
give that a go. I did go check out my how I got monetized in 6 months, and you might find some tips in there that could help you.
Very good video. Let's see. Here's what are you good on time? We're over an hour.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. What would you say to someone that started a YouTube channel but has not seen the level of growth that you have experienced?
Be patient. Be patient. Trust in yourself. I mean, obviously consistency, like just keep, even if only 5 people are watching, just keep putting them out. If that is your dream, like just keep working at it. But I feel like if you concoct the same recipe that I did, if you go out of your way and you find other small creators, and you genuinely engage with their videos, you like it, you comment and you subscribe, and you leave a genuine comment about how you watched their video, how you like this, or maybe you have some constructive criticism, even like make it nice, but that's not, you don't want to have a bad first impression. And then maybe just sprinkle in something that you just did a video on that too, or you're also new to YouTube, but don't say YouTube, just say YT, because if you write out YouTube, it'll mark it as spam. I've learned all the tricks. But
subscribe or channel.
Yeah.
I'll go through like the comments on my YouTube studio, and like it'll be like comments held for review. And usually they're not inappropriate. They're just like, I love your channel. And YouTube just blocks that because it thinks they're asking me to watch their channel.
Yeah, exactly. So I just have to do it tastefully. But yeah, just going out of your way, finding other small people, but even branching into bigger channels. Like, I really never thought Josh would see my comments, and I just commented and doing what I always do, telling people that I appreciate it and I'm learning from it, and I might implement it into my videos. And then, time and time again, then, if I appreciate it, somebody else has to appreciate it. And that's just what happened in our situation. And then in the situation with, I have, so many friends on YouTube. I see Sarah Stiles is in the chat. Thank you for coming. And, we're good friends now. And me and Kimmy were friends, and Blue Consignment, Macy, and Chelsea Sunshine, and Taylor Bell. Like, we're all like, they're all in the chat. Thank you guys for coming out and supporting me. I just want to give you a shout out. But yeah, that's how you just build relationships and friends. You just have to put yourself out there. So that would be my suggestion: is consistently upload, keep working at it, and then have some genuine engagement, and be patient.
Yeah, and also just make sure that you're comparing things with like the full view of what's actually going on. Like if you started your YouTube channel at the same time as Brittany, and you've made one video every 3 weeks, and you're not really putting time into research or learn thumbnails or anything, you can't really compare yourself. Because Brittany, you've been working a part-time job for free essentially for the last 6, 7, 8 months.
Right.
And now you're starting to see the fruits of your labor. So I think that's the biggest thing I see. People don't realize the amount of work it takes to grow that fast on YouTube. It's not going to be like a TikTok video that goes viral and you're going to, just blow up overnight. I don't know any reseller that's blown up overnight.
I do. My friend Taylor was just on Graham Stephan's podcast. It just went out on Sunday, and she was like,
I listened to that. I didn't know you were her friend. That's awesome.
Yeah. We have a group chat. We've been chatting for a long time. So I had her on Reseller Hangout.
Date.
Yeah. So she just blew up overnight. She has like 3,500, maybe. I don't know at this point, 3,500 subscribers, and she had 400-ish before yesterday. Well, Sunday morning.
It's funny. For those of you who don't know, Graham Stephan has a podcast. He has a YouTube channel. He has 3 YouTube channels if you count the Iced Coffee Hour channel.
Yeah.
And she just commented on one of his videos, and she was like, hey, if you're looking for whatever, I guess a Tinder date for Jack, I'm willing to come onto the channel. And they said yes. That's actually how Jack got a job. Jack, well, he emailed Graham and just asked him if he needed help, and he said yes. So
yeah, well, actually Taylor just commented. She did something like silly. She was just like button obliterated, and then it just got the most likes. And then I guess Graham found her Instagram, and he had the idea of doing something like that, but it didn't. Yeah, the Tinder thing didn't happen, but they just got a subscriber instead, so it all worked out. And she got to shine a little light on our reseller community, so that was fun.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome. I think she had like 420 subscribers at the time of the podcast. I'm like, oh, she's definitely gonna blow up. And I was like, why haven't I heard of her? Like, who is this? But
she did a reseller hangout on my channel. Oh my gosh, Josh, you haven't gone back and watched all my videos yet?
I haven't. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I don't expect everybody to watch all my videos. That's okay.
We got a Carolina Hustler send a $10 super chat. Enjoy the chat, guys. Thanks for the tips. Have to run, put the kids to bed. Sold something while watching. Thought I would share the love. Thanks again. Carolina Hustler. Thank you so much. I bet he sold a golf club. Yes. Sells a lot of golf clubs.
He sure does. Have you seen his inventory? It's just like nothing but golf clubs. I would get lost.
Yeah. And then Tytastic sent a $10 super chat. Love your content, such an inspiration. I'm sure they're talking to you, Brittany.
Oh, thank you. I'm sure they're talking to you, Josh.
I'll split that super chat with you.
Oh, that's okay.
Baking More, Harry Tornado, can you link her YouTube? It's been put in the chat multiple times. It's also in the description of this video, but there it is in the chat one more time. Be sure to go subscribe.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Taylor put in her comment. Her comment on their podcast was popcorn grabbed, like button obliterated.
Taylor, that's the Taylor I was just listening to that podcast today. I feel like she's a celebrity.
Yeah, she is. She's my friend.
That's great. All right, Taylor, enjoyed you on the podcast. I thought you were great.
She did a good job.
I would love to have Graham Stephan on Reseller Review one day, or just on my channel. Yeah. I'm on the point of like, hey Graham, I'll pay you $2,000 come do like an hour, because it would just be great. Like that would be a huge investment in my business. Obviously.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Graham's already like just his content, because I've been watching him for like 2 years, ever since he was on Bigger Pockets podcast. And we had some friends that heard of him, and they were like, you got like, because we were all kind of like on the same path. We have like 2 really good friends, and we're like all like on the same trajectory of life. And we all kind of got into real estate investing together because of Graham on Bigger Pockets. And then I just Googled him, and then I found his YouTube channel, and then I started following him. But he's the reason why we invest in real estate now. People usually don't know that about me, but we're on our second property right now. And,
Your second rental or your second owned property?
Mortgage. So we have 2 properties that are in our name. We have one that has tenants in it. And then we are living in our second one right now. And then it'll be a rental property once we move, because we're military and we move every 2 to 3 years. And that's kind of the goal. I talked to you about that too in our hangout. And we have no debt. We have 2 paid off Honda Accords, and they get us from A to B. They're not the cutest thing in the world, but they work, and that's all we need. No student loans, no credit card debt, no nothing. We have phenomenal credit scores. I think last time I checked, I put it in the comments of Taylor's podcast with them, but my credit score was 781 the other day, and I have like 5 cards, a credit card churn. We travel for free. And it's all thanks to Graham. So
that's awesome. Yeah. Credit cards, if you know how to use them right, they can be a great tool. But most people don't. Most people have
most people don't. So, but yeah, our goal is to have 5 properties by the time we retire out of the military. So
that's awesome. How many years has your husband put in the military?
We are coming up on 8, so we have about 12 left.
Awesome.
So, but
it'll be worth it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So,
I don't see you as a very materialistic person, but what item do you currently own that you just really enjoy? This is a tough question.
I'm having to look around my room. Maybe I like my camera. Like, I spent a good chunk of money on it, but I'm not like attached at the hip to it. What do I really enjoy? I don't know.
It doesn't have to be anything you're like. I mean, we have the same camera, Canon M50. I really like how it looks. I put this shelf up today, so I just like in the live stream, since I'm not using it, I can put it out, and I like it. It's a little tiny, cute little thing. And
camera buddies.
Camera buddies. So you actually have the Rode. You have the Rode Video Mic Go, right?
Yeah, it's a Rode mic.
I just have the Boya BY-MM1, which is the knockoff. But it works. It works. It's only like a $35 mic.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, mine was double the cost. I didn't look into it very much, but I enjoyed it, and it's a business write-off.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I'm not very materialistic either, and pretty much everything that I want is like a business write-off. Like the next thing I'm thinking about wanting is a drone, and not that I would use it a lot, but I'm like, that'd be kind of fun. And it'd be a business write-off. I just record some footage and stick it in a YouTube video.
I totally want to do that, because my husband, he woodworks, and he's working on building us a lightweight pull-behind teardrop trailer so we can pull it with our Honda Accord. But I would love to get a drone, because we love to travel. We're going to camp with it. And it'd be so cool to get like B-roll footage of like, going and camping in Colorado and like having the mountains there. And I'm like having that as B-roll when I go and thrift, like in Colorado. It'd just be fun. But we just purchased, this is something to save on time. We just purchased a robot vacuum, and that'll probably become my favorite thing. Not that I use it. It's still in the box. It literally just arrived today. But I think that it's going to be amazing, because we have 2 cats, and as soon as you vacuum, you need to vacuum again.
Yeah. So. We just we didn't get the robot vacuum, but we got a Dyson Animal V8 Plus, which probably about the same price as a robot vacuum, but it's nice. We use it all the time. It actually makes vacuuming fun. But we were like, it's cordless. I didn't really like having to, unwrap the cord from the back of the vacuum and plug it in, and then
so prehistoric.
And you got to move to another outlet I don't know. So we splurged on that.
Yeah. I just have learned that there's only so much time in the day, and it's like, what can we not do sometimes? So trying to work on that. But yeah, I'm not a materialistic person at all. We are aspiring minimalists. I feel like 90% of the things that are in our home are for the businesses. So
yeah. And I don't know the exact numbers on this, but I'd be willing to bet a large sum of money that most successful people are not materialistic, because someone that's truly successful at business is able to see like whether an asset is appreciating asset or a depreciating asset. They might spend a lot of money on cars or something like that. To maybe they're a real estate agent, like Graham Stephan's real estate agent. He bought a Tesla. It's a business write-off and all that stuff. But I mean, Graham, makes millions of dollars a year, and he is obsessed with, saving $3 on a cup of coffee by making it at his house. And
yeah, I mean,
Gary Vee, I'm seeing that theme, especially with younger entrepreneurs, younger successful resellers, or not resellers, business people. They have that mindset of like, we're over the Lamborghinis and the gold chains and all that stuff. We're kind of a mature generation, in my opinion. And people just realize that I'm not going to spend $70,000 on a necklace. I'll,
it's pointless.
I'll just invest it in stocks or something,
Exactly. Real estate. I love real estate because it's like tangible. It's physical.
Yeah. I own that house.
Yeah, exactly. And even if, God forbid, like if it burnt down, like and hopefully nobody got hurt, but you have insurance, you can rebuild it. Like the land is still there, whether it's like burnt and barren in a desert wasteland, it's still there. So, you can always build it up. So that's what we like to keep. We don't like to keep all of our eggs in one basket. We have lots of eggs in lots of baskets, like an Easter egg hunt.
Yeah.
So,
Terry Bonham. Hello, Terry. Is there any videos on making YouTube videos? I'm totally ignorant about this. So, Terry, I learned everything I know about YouTube from YouTube. I watched my go-to channels were Roberto Blake, Nick Nimmin, video influencers, Think Media. All those channels are entire YouTube channels about creating YouTube content. Yeah. Sean Cannell and Benzie Travis wrote a book together called YouTube Secrets. I have it linked in most of my videos. I would highly recommend that book if you want to learn about starting a YouTube channel. There's also an audiobook on Amazon for like $3 or whatever. It's a very great book, which leads me into my next question, which was, have you read any books that have helped you with your YouTube or reselling business?
So I have not read that YouTube Secrets. I feel like I'm somebody that learns like hands-on as you can be with YouTube, or learning, there's like the saying, you learn from your own mistakes, but I also learn from other people's mistakes. The same thing as they're learning about YouTube, I'm learning with them and what works for them. So that's what worked for me. So I haven't read anything about YouTube, but I've watched stuff on YouTube to learn about YouTube. But for a book, for just me as a human being, me and my husband, we are on the pursuit of minimalism, essential endeavors. The reason why I picked essential endeavors is because we are on the pursuit to find what's really essential to life. And you can apply that to anything, whether it's a business, a relationship, a career, whatever it is. Really honing in on what's essential I feel like is going to bring you the most happiness, or at least it is for me. And then I picked endeavors because it'll grow with me. And if my YouTube happens to change, essential endeavors is just, for me, I'm on my essential endeavors. Hopefully I can help you along yours as well. And that's just why I picked it. And you actually have it spelt wrong. It's supposed to be O-U-R-S. It's the global spelling.
Oh,
it's
let me change it.
I have it. I have it linked for my channel so people can still find it. People can still find it. They spell it the American way. But fun fact, my dad's from England, so I grew up spelling color, C-O-L-O-U-R. O-U-R. Yeah, did I spell it right? Yeah, and then endeavors like that. So it's the same thing. It's just like a global spelling. But I thought it was fun because it's all about you and us and our endeavors. So my book is of choice that helped me in life is Essentialism by Greg McKeown is my book of choice. It really helped me to realize what's essential. So it's a good read. It's a good read for anybody in life, no matter if you're a reseller, YouTuber, a human being on earth, you should read it.
I have not read that yet, so I will put that on my short list. So I don't want to keep you too much longer, but the last question, I was trying to think of questions that would be interesting to talk about, not just like reselling and YouTube. So if you won $1 million after tax, say you won like $2 million after tax, you have $1 million to spend. How would you spend it? And I want to be a little creative. Don't say I would just save it. Like when I asked my wife that question, she's like, I would just save it all. And like, you wouldn't buy anything. She's like, no, I would just save it.
Oh, me and your wife would get along.
I could tell. I can tell.
Oh boy. Yeah. So dang, you took the fun out of that. How like
I would
backwards
just put it
is that?
into a savings account.
Yeah, no. Don't put it in a savings account because they give you crap for interest. Let me tell you. Go check out Stefan's channel if you haven't already. He doesn't need the shout out. I think most people know him, but I I think this counts. We would pay off our homes and just own them outright because, like, yeah, like this is something that I feel like I could debate with Graham. Like, he likes to have a mortgage and like never pay it off and just have the tenant pay it off. But I view paying off a home and having it in your name. First, it's solidified in your name, but it's like it's still. You're not losing that money. It's like a savings account, but it's in land
Yeah.
and it's officially in your name. So, anyways, we're working towards paying off our home. We actually, our other home, we got it. Our goal for this year was to get it less than 6 figures, and we just did that last week. So
Awesome.
we already hit our goal. Thank you. We want to have it paid off by the end of next year. So that is our goal. So if I had $1 million, wow, I would pay off our homes. Oh my gosh. I would take a month off of work and we would just, I don't know where we'd go. I know exactly what we would do. Actually, well, two things. I don't know how I think there's a certain point if you make so much money, we could potentially buy out my husband's military contract. I don't really know, but it is a really good, you can't find retirement benefits like that in the civilian world. Like we get, like, let's just say the highest amount we ever made, just for simplicity's sake, was $5,000 a month. And you get the highest of your 3 years and 50% of that. So if we retired at 20 years, we get $2,500 a month every month for the rest of my husband's life. But for our lives, and then we have healthcare for forever. And then our kids up until they're like, whatever, 26. So that's why we want to retire, is just because that's just like a for sure thing. But I mean, that'd be kind of cool to be able to buy out a military contract and we could just go and travel for like forever. And then we could just create a travel channel and just about all our stuff. But what my husband and I would love to do, I think, what is it called? Prudhoe Bay up in Alaska, very tip of Alaska, and then do a road trip all the way down to the tip of Patagonia where Chile and Argentina meet. And then maybe take a fishing boat or a shipping container boat and go and visit Antarctica, because it is on my bucket list to visit all 7 continents in my lifetime. That's what I would do.
Awesome. Well, you can definitely afford to do that with $1 million.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, plenty of pizza along the way too.
Plenty of pizza.
Have good food.
All different types and flavors.
Yeah, so that's my my dream. But I mean, we'll probably still do that, all the way from the tip of North America down to South America road trip at some point in our lives. I just don't know how feasible that is in the near future.
Yeah.
So
definitely take a long time. But it's really interesting to see, like, when I ask like successful people, like with a successful mindset, that question, it's always like very realistic things like traveling and paying off debt. And, I don't know. I see there's that viral dog face guy from TikTok that went viral for doing the cranberry juice. You don't have TikTok, but if you know TikTok, you know who I'm talking about. Dog face. He went viral on TikTok for riding a skateboard, listening to Fleetwood Mac, drinking cranberry juice.
Oh, cool.
He's just come into all this money. He went from living in a camper or something, and now like Ocean Spray gave him a truck, and I'm sure he's like sold that truck and bought a Lamborghini or something by now, because he's buying a house. He's buying all this jewelry and everything. I'm like, man, I really, really hope there's people in his life that are helping him make these decisions. I don't know how much money he's making, but I'm seeing him on social media, like flexing all of his money now. And I don't know, like the lottery ruined my life. There's a TV show called like Winning the Lottery Ruined My Life. And
well, it's that what we were just talking about earlier, way earlier, is lifestyle inflation. Like, I mean, I think it's good. I mean, if for whatever, well, we don't gamble. We tried to do Bitcoin and that didn't go very well. We did like $1,000 and actually we did Ripple. And then we got into Ripple, and then we just said $1,000. That's it. That was our gambling money, because we did gamble a little bit. But after that, there was no gambling for the rest of our lives, because we would only budget $50 each whenever we would gamble. So that's enough for, I don't know, the next 2, 3, 4 decades. So no more gambling for us. But we bought into Ripple, and we got it in at like less than $1. And then it went up to like over $3 while we were in New Zealand. We went to New Zealand for a month to celebrate me graduating from college. And we just had no connection, and it started plummeting, and we started getting messages or emails from my husband's stepdad, and he's like, quick, you need to sell it. And we're like, what are we supposed to do? We're in New Zealand. So we just lost all that money. But
I bought $50 of Bitcoin when it was at like 14,000, and then it went back down to like 8,000 or 9,000. I'm like, whatever. And I just noticed that like now it's almost back to its all-time high. It's slightly, I think the all-time high was just under 20, and it's at currently 18,436. And it's so, I used to have this roommate in college. His name was Austin, and he just had like the worst ideas ever. He was just not a very smart person. But I'll never forget when he first told me about Bitcoin. It was like 2012, and it was like $200 a coin. He's like, dude, this is going to be the currency of the future. I'm like, Austin, you're an idiot. Like you work at Cracker Barrel, didn't have a car, like just, into drugs and just not really making good decisions. So I just kind of blew it off as he doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm like, man, could you imagine buying a Bitcoin for $200 back in 2012 to now have it worth $18,400? It's crazy.
You just never know. Cracker Barrel is our jam on road trips. We love Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, we actually just ate there 2 nights ago.
Yeah, it's good.
We don't eat there very often, but I like it. All right, folks. This is the longest live stream I've ever done.
I'm sorry.
I think we're both just good conversationalists. It just kind of flows. But I don't want to keep you any longer. I need to go to bed.
I know. I know my husband's waiting for me.
But guys, if you are still watching this, I greatly appreciate it. If you're watching this after the fact and you've watched all the way to this point, I really, really appreciate that. Be sure to go ahead and hit the like button down below. It takes 2 seconds, totally for free, and it really helps me and the channel out a ton. And also, please go subscribe to Essential Endeavors, global spelling, Essential Endeavors on YouTube. The link is in the description of this video. I'll put it in the chat one more time. Just
thank you guys.
Pace.
And thank you to all of my subscribers and my friends that came out and supported me. I really appreciate you guys. You know that, but just gonna give you another shout out.
Absolutely. Brittany, thank you for joining me tonight. I wish you the best of luck with your YouTube channel. I'm super excited to see you grow to probably 100,000 subscribers by next Thanksgiving. I'm calling it.
All right.
I bet you $1.
Okay. Okay. I can manage that.
We don't gamble. We don't gamble. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Good luck to everybody in their essential endeavors in life, and take care. Have a good night.